We think of Christmas, images of togetherness, laughter, and warmth often come to mind. But what happens when someone spends Christmas alone? Society tends to assume that being alone during the holidays is synonymous with sadness and despair. However, this assumption overlooks a deeper truth. Loneliness is not always about physical solitude. In fact, many people feel most alone in a crowded room, especially when surrounded by family dynamics that are painful or unwelcoming. This video invites you to challenge the myth that being alone at Christmas is tragic, and instead consider how solitude can sometimes be freeing, peaceful, and even healing. Let's go back to childhood, to those early Christmas gatherings. For some, these memories are filled with warmth, but for others, they recall feeling invisible, as if their presence barely registered. Many learned to perform gratitude, to smile and say thank you even when their hearts felt heavy. Managing the emotions of others, making sure no one was upset, keeping the peace became an unspoken task. These experiences taught us that Christmas was less about connection and more about emotional labor and self-betrayal. The expectation to be cheerful even when hurting set the stage for how we view the holidays as adults. As children, many of us learned that our feelings were secondary to the needs and moods of others. During family Christmases, this often meant hiding our true selves, suppressing discomfort, and pretending everything was fine. The emotional neglect experienced in these moments left lasting marks. Instead of feeling safe and seen, we felt isolated, even in a room full of relatives. The message was clear, fitting, and required self-denial. Over time, these patterns became ingrained, shaping how we approach not just the holidays but relationships in general. Family gatherings, especially during Christmas, can be emotionally exhausting. The pressure to meet expectations, answer probing questions, and navigate unresolved conflicts creates a sense of hypervigilance. Many experience physical symptoms of stress, tightness in the chest, headaches, or fatigue, simply from anticipating these interactions. The emotional danger isn't always obvious, but it's real. For some, Christmas becomes a time of survival rather than celebration, where the focus shifts from joy to simply getting through the day without incident. Family events, judgment can come in subtle forms: a raised eyebrow, a pointed question, or a dismissive comment. These moments trigger old wounds, making us feel scrutinized and misunderstood. The constant need to explain ourselves or defend our choices adds to the emotional burden. Over time, these interrogations erode our sense of safety, making us dread the very gatherings that are supposed to bring comfort and joy. It's no wonder that many begin to associate Christmas with anxiety rather than anticipation. Resolved conflicts often simmer beneath the surface at family gatherings. Old arguments, unspoken resentments, and lingering disappointments can make the atmosphere tense. Even when everyone tries to keep the peace, the underlying tension is palpable. These unresolved issues create an environment where genuine connection feels impossible. Instead of coming together, family members may retreat into roles or avoid meaningful conversations, leaving everyone feeling more alone than ever. Body often reacts to emotional stress in ways we might not expect. Before or during family gatherings, you might notice headaches, stomachaches, or a racing heart. These physical symptoms are the body's way of signaling distress, even when we try to ignore our feelings. Over time, repeated exposure to emotionally unsafe environments can lead to chronic stress, impacting both mental and physical health. Recognizing these signs is the first step toward understanding what our bodies are trying to tell us. For many, the decision to stop attending family Christmases brings an unexpected sense of relief. The anxiety and dread that once accompanied the holidays begin to fade, replaced by newfound calm. This absence isn't about rejecting family but about choosing self-preservation. It's a courageous step toward prioritizing one's own well-being, even if it means breaking with tradition. The relief felt is a testament to the emotional toll these gatherings once took. Choosing not to attend family events often comes with its own set of challenges. Friends, relatives, and even acquaintances may question your decision, sometimes with judgment or accusations. They might suggest you're selfish, ungrateful, or even cold-hearted. These reactions reveal more about their discomfort with emotional truths than about your choices. Standing firm in your decision requires strength and self-compassion, especially when others don't understand. You choose yourself over tradition, it can disrupt family expectations. Suddenly, the familiar script is broken and others are forced to confront uncomfortable truths. Your absence may highlight issues that have long been ignored, prompting reflection or even defensiveness. While this disruption can be difficult, it's also an opportunity for growth, both for you and potentially for your family. Change often begins with a single act of courage. Absence can be a powerful statement. It forces others to notice what's missing and sometimes to question why. For those who have always played the role of peacemaker or caretaker, stepping away can feel radical. But this act of self-care is not about punishing others, it's about honoring your own needs. Over time, your absence may inspire others to reflect on their own roles and choices within the family dynamic. There's a difference between being physically alone and feeling lonely in a crowd. At family events, many experience a kind of performative loneliness, present in body but emotionally absent. In contrast, spending Christmas alone can offer a sense of honest loneliness, where you're free to feel and process your emotions without pretense. This authenticity can be surprisingly comforting, providing space for self-acceptance and peace. Solitude doesn't have to be a punishment. In fact, it can be a gift. When you choose to spend Christmas alone, you have the opportunity to create your own traditions, honor your feelings, and nurture yourself in ways that may not have been possible in a crowded, emotionally charged environment. Embracing solitude is about reclaiming your agency and finding peace on your own terms. Authentic peace comes from accepting your reality, rather than forcing yourself into situations that feel unsafe or unfulfilling. By choosing solitude, you give yourself permission to rest, reflect, and heal. This peace isn't about denying the pain of the past, but about creating space for new possibilities. Over time, you may find that being alone at Christmas is less about loneliness and more about freedom. Self-acceptance is a journey, especially for those who have spent years trying to fit into family molds. Solitude offers a chance to reconnect with your true self, free from the expectations and judgments of others. In this quiet space, you can listen to your own needs and desires and begin to trust your instincts again. The path to self-acceptance may be challenging, but it's also deeply rewarding. Many of us were conditioned from a young age to believe that love was conditional, that we had to perform, please, or shrink ourselves to be accepted. These lessons often play out most vividly during family celebrations, where the pressure to conform is strongest. Recognizing the roots of conditional love is the first step toward breaking free from its hold. Childhood conditioning often taught us to make ourselves smaller, to take up less space, speak less, and avoid drawing attention. This performance was a survival strategy, a way to minimize conflict and maintain a fragile peace. But as adults, these habits can prevent us from living authentically. Recognizing and unlearning these patterns is essential for healing. For those who grew up in emotionally unsafe environments, family celebrations can feel dangerous. The anticipation of criticism, conflict, or rejection creates a sense of dread. Instead of looking forward to the holidays, you may find yourself counting down the days until it's over. Understanding this response is key to making choices that prioritize your emotional safety. Choosing not to participate in family Christmases isn't a rejection of love, it's a refusal to engage in unhealthy dynamics. This decision can be misunderstood by others, but it's an act of self-respect. By setting boundaries, you create space for healthier relationships, whether with family or with yourself. When you step away from family traditions that no longer serve you, you begin the process of reclaiming your identity. This journey is about discovering who you are outside of the roles you were assigned as a child. It's an opportunity to define your own values, beliefs, and traditions, and to live in alignment with your true self. One of the gifts of spending Christmas alone is the freedom to build new traditions. Whether it's cooking your favorite meal, watching a beloved movie, or simply enjoying a quiet day, you have the power to create a holiday that reflects your needs and desires. These new traditions can become a source of comfort and joy year after year. Honoring your feelings means allowing yourself to experience whatever comes up during the holidays: joy, sadness, relief, or even grief. There's no right or wrong way to feel. By giving yourself permission to feel, you open the door to healing and self-compassion. This honesty is a powerful act of self-care. The freedom to choose how you spend your holidays is a form of empowerment. You are not obligated to follow traditions that cause you pain or discomfort. By making choices that honor your well-being, you reclaim control over your life and your happiness. This freedom is worth celebrating. Letting go of guilt is one of the most challenging parts of choosing solitude. Society often tells us that family is everything and that being alone is a sign of failure, but guilt is not a reliable guide. By releasing guilt, you make room for self-acceptance and peace. Remember, your choices are valid and your well-being matters. Family isn't always defined by blood. Sometimes the people who support and understand us are friends, mentors, or even ourselves. Redefining family means seeking out relationships that are nurturing and reciprocal. This broader definition allows for deeper, more authentic connections, especially during the holidays. If family gatherings are unsafe or unfulfilling, it's okay to seek support elsewhere. Friends, support groups, or even online communities can provide the understanding and compassion you need. Reaching out is a sign of strength, not weakness. You deserve to feel seen and supported, especially during the holidays. Self-compassion is essential when navigating difficult emotions during the holidays. Treat yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend. Acknowledge your pain, but also celebrate your courage in making choices that honor your needs. Self-compassion is the foundation of healing and growth. Healing from emotional neglect is a gradual process. It involves recognizing the ways you were hurt, validating your experiences, and learning to meet your own needs. The holidays can bring up old wounds, but they also offer an opportunity to practice new ways of caring for yourself. Healing is possible, one step at a time. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect. It means saying no to situations that cause harm, even if others don't understand. Boundaries protect your emotional health and create space for relationships that are supportive and nurturing. During the holidays, boundaries are especially important. Choosing yourself takes courage, especially when it means going against tradition or disappointing others. But this courage is necessary for growth and healing. By prioritizing your own needs, you set an example for others and pave the way for a more authentic, fulfilling life. Even in solitude, there are small joys to be found: a favorite song, a warm drink, a quiet moment of reflection. These simple pleasures can bring comfort and remind you that happiness doesn't depend on others. Celebrating small joys is a way to nurture yourself and find meaning in the present moment. Mindfulness is a powerful tool for navigating holiday emotions. By staying present and observing your thoughts without judgment, you can reduce anxiety and increase self-awareness. Mindfulness helps you respond to challenges with compassion and clarity, making the holidays more manageable and meaningful. The holidays are a good time to reflect on your needs and desires. What brings you comfort? What drains your energy? By tuning into your own experience, you can make choices that support your well-being. Reflection is a form of self-care that helps you stay grounded and true to yourself. Perfection is an illusion, especially during the holidays. Letting go of the need to create a perfect celebration frees you from unnecessary pressure. Embrace the messiness of real life and allow yourself to be imperfect. This acceptance makes room for genuine joy and connection, even if it looks different than expected. Rest is a gift you can give yourself during the holidays. Without the demands of family gatherings, you have the freedom to slow down, recharge, and care for your body and mind. Rest is not laziness, it's a necessary part of healing and growth. Allow yourself the space to rest without guilt or apology. Solitude can be a source of joy, not just relief. By focusing on what brings you happiness, you can rediscover the simple pleasures that make life meaningful. Whether it's a creative project, a walk in nature, or a favorite book, these moments of joy are yours to claim. It's natural to grieve the loss of what you hoped family holidays would be. Allow yourself to mourn unmet expectations and the pain of the past. Grief is a necessary part of healing, and it creates space for new beginnings. Be gentle with yourself as you navigate these feelings. When you let go of old patterns and expectations, you open yourself to new possibilities. The holidays can become a time of exploration and discovery rather than repetition of the past. Embrace the unknown and trust that new sources of connection and joy will emerge in time. Gratitude isn't just for others, it's something you can offer yourself. Acknowledge your resilience, your courage, and your growth. Practicing gratitude for yourself reinforces your sense of worth and helps you appreciate the progress you've made, even if it's not always visible to others. Every choice you make to honor your well-being is worth celebrating. Whether it's spending the day alone, reaching out for support, or simply resting, these decisions reflect your commitment to yourself. Celebrate your choices, no matter how small, they are steps toward a healthier, happier life. The holidays can be a time to look forward with hope, even if the past has been painful. By making choices that honor your needs, you create a foundation for a brighter future. Hope is not about denying reality, but about believing in the possibility of change and healing. Everyone's journey is unique. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be, even if it doesn't look like anyone else's path. Your experiences, choices, and growth are valid. Trusting your journey means honoring your truth and moving forward at your own pace. If you know someone who is spending the holidays alone, offer them understanding and support. A simple message or gesture can make a big difference. By supporting others, you help break the stigma around solitude and create a more compassionate world. The present moment is all we truly have. By focusing on what's happening right now, you can find peace and contentment, even in solitude. Embrace the present and allow yourself to experience the holidays in your own way, free from the weight of the past or the pressure of expectations. It's time to rewrite the narrative around being alone at Christmas. Solitude is not a tragedy, but an opportunity for self-discovery, healing, and growth. By embracing your own path, you can transform the holidays into a time of renewal and hope. Remember, you are not alone in your experience, and your story matters.